A new survey by the nation's largest teachers union outlines their plan to get back into the classroom. Here to share the results, President of the National Education Association, Becky Pringle, joining us. Becky, good morning.
Good morning. It's good to be with you, Raul. And that deep breath, that sounded mighty fine.
That's what we all need. Isn't that the truth? We have more in common than we have. We just need to find the common solutions to our problems here. Tell us about what this new survey said and what the findings are. Because the bottom line here, when you think about it, these are teachers, and we love our teachers. That's the foundation to all of this. Talk to me.
So, Raul, let me begin by just saying that as a teacher, I taught 8th grade science for over 31 years. And I can tell you that educators want nothing more than to be back in person with their students. It's why we've been calling for 10 months for the federal government to give us the resources so that we could actually put in place in every single one of our schools the mitigation strategies that the CDC has said need to be strictly enforced for our students to return safely. And so we've been fighting for that for 10 months. It hasn't happened yet. We had an anemic bill in December, but that did nothing. We're staying hopeful. But now we have the vaccine. Yeah. And we're really hopeful about that as well. And so we wanted to survey our members to just get a sense of their access to the vaccine, how they felt about the vaccine, would they take it? Did they feel like they needed that to help them feel safe to go back to school? And so that's what we did. We found out that only 18% of them have actually had a vaccine. We also found out that well over 70% of them want to get the vaccine and that they'll feel much safer if they have it. But about 3/4 right now don't have the access or the information to get the access. There's a lot of confusion. They don't know the how, the what, the when, the where, any of it. And so that's one of the things that we learned in the survey, that we want to actually partner with states and with the Biden administration and with the CDC on to try to fill those gaps for our educators.
Because I think it's kind of what I was saying, we're all trying to get to the same point here. And here in California, we have that system in place. Teachers, obviously essential workers, they're in the 1B group. We still haven't gotten through the 1A. The governor was here in San Diego yesterday. He said, look, it's about the supply. Our county supervisors, our mayor, it's about the supply. Then you hear the CDC saying, well, the teachers can go back without necessarily having the vaccine, but the unions, you guys are saying, no, we don't want that. We need to be safe in the classroom, which makes perfect sense. So where do we stand today moving forward if we need to get the vaccine, we don't have it, and we're not in the right groups yet?
Well, first of all, it is encouraging that California is one of the 25 states, only 25, that have included educators in the prioritization list. So which is what we've been calling for. And you're absolutely correct, Raul, that the distribution of the vaccines has been, first of all, chaotic, and there's no organization. As you know, we had a lack of leadership, we have failed leadership, we had all of that. And that had everything to do with the production of the vaccine. And that's why you're not just you there in California, but all over this country, we're having that supply chain challenge. So we are working with the Biden administration, and you've heard President Biden talk about this, that he is calling for the increased production of vaccines and then working collaboratively. He's already reached out to all of the state departments of health, his team, his COVID response team, as well as the state governments to do a couple of things. First of all, he wants them to know what the supply is, because that had created a lot of chaos too. They didn't know whether they were getting doses, and that many of the doses went unused. That's just horrific that happened. But he wants them to know how many doses they're getting, when they are arriving, so they can plan accordingly. Right. And so it's that kind of collaboration. You hit right on it, Raul. I thank you for saying that, because what I've been saying all along, the adults in the system need to step up and do what's best for our babies. Yeah. That's what needs to happen. For that to happen, we have to collaborate, we have to be transparent, we have to do everything we can so they can return to in-person learning safely and equitably.
Exactly. And let's get back to the Biden administration. They're obviously trying to change something, but there have been some conflicting signals here in terms of to when, in terms of to how. We're expecting more information tomorrow, hopefully, from the CDC and the Biden administration. Governor Newsom hoping to reach a deal as early as this week, perhaps. There's the COVID-19 bill that could potentially give us $130 billion to help put more safety measures in place in our classrooms around the country. Is it realistic to expect that tomorrow or in the next week we could have some plan in place to get kids back to school this year? Or are we talking about in the fall, moving forward next year?
So much of that depends, Raul, on that collaboration between those adults, right? So you are correct. We are so hopeful, encouraged by President Biden's bill, not only because of the $130 billion for education, but President Biden really understands that compounding systems impact our students' ability to learn. So he has to address healthcare, and he has to address housing insecurity and economic insecurity. He has to make sure families are whole and safe and making enough money to feed their kids. All of that has to be done, and he's addressing that in that $1.9 trillion package. But that still has to get passed, and then the money has to actually come to the states, and then it has to come to the school districts. So that does take a little bit of time to get all of that in place so we can have those mitigation strategies in place, so we can get those doses of vaccines out. All of that does take time. And what we're asking is for the adults to come together and to come up with a realistic time frame. President Biden has been very clear. This is urgent for him. It's a number one priority. And so he is calling on all the forces at his disposal to make it so. And what we have to do at the state and local levels is to work with him to do the same.
And as the president of the National Education Association, how do you react when the governor of California and the mayor of Chicago, Mayor Lightfoot, says that it's quite frankly unrealistic, the demands that the unions are making? Because I believe it was 40% of students in public schools that are still doing online learning. Others are. There's, you know very well, there's a disparity. There's an equity issue with all the wealthy private schools. They've been in school, Becky, since September. So there's a major issue that we're not addressing. How do you feel about the governor and the mayor of Chicago saying it's unrealistic what the teachers' unions are asking?
So it's not unrealistic, but I will say this, that they, like us, have been waiting for the federal government to set the tone at the top and show leadership. That's what we've been all waiting for. No one had extra money in their budgets to make sure that every student, everyone has what they need. And Raul, you are so right. You know, so many people all over the country were talking about the light shining on inequities in this country. Educators already knew of those inequities. They were already standing in those gaps. You saw them driving around, not just feeding their kids, but their the families of their students. They were buying out of their own pocket digital tools for them and creating hotspots. All of that happens because they know of the inequities in that system. And so we absolutely need to deal with this in a comprehensive approach, making sure that we are addressing long-term institutional racism and the compounding systems that interfere with our students' ability to learn. And we are so encouraged by President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris and our very own Dr. Jill Biden, who is an educator and an NEA member, who are coming together and collaborating with us to do what's right for our babies.
Becky Pringle, we need to have you on every week. We have so much to talk about. We appreciate the time, and thank you for your 30-plus years of being a teacher. I used to watch Mr. Wizard's World for my science class in 8th grade, and it helped me a lot.
Yay!
So, you know. Becky, thank you again.
Thank you all. Be safe.
You as well.